and welcome to Val Talks Pets, the forum for pet parents and enthusiasts alike. Having been in the pet industry for over 10 years now, I'm going to share with you issues and questions that arise as I work with pet parents on a day-to-day basis. I am not a veterinarian, but I do have certifications in canine, feline, small animal, fish and herptile, and avian health and nutrition from the University of California, Davis Extension. Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me on this episode of Val Talks Pets. How many times have you heard someone say, well, you know, dogs come from wolves? Do they? Where did the domestic dog we have today come from? Well, let's find out. The domestication, like many things, was a process. According to Wikipedia, the answer we have all been looking for is genetic studies suggest that all ancient and modern dogs share a common ancestry and descended from an ancient, now extinct wolf population or closely related wolf populations, which was distinct from the modern wolf lineage. Well, that's exactly what we were wondering. So who was this now extinct wolf? Apparently, it was a late Pleistocene wolf that may have been the ancestor of the dog. What I understand is the dog was descended from this late Pleistocene wolf that existed 27,000 to 40,000 years ago, immediately before the last glacial maximum. This was a genetic divergence that was distinct from the modern wolf lineage. At around 40,000 to 30,000 years ago, there was a divergence between the dog's ancestor and modern wolves. Before genetic divergence or splitting, the population of wolves ancestral to the dog outnumbered all other wolf populations, and after divergence, the dog population underwent a population reduction to be much lower. Now, according to scientificamerican.com, one type of wolf, perhaps a descendant of a megafaunal wolf, apparently began living close to people. For many years, scientists concurred, based on small portions of the genome, that this species was the modern gray wolf, Canis lupus, and this canid alone gave rise to dogs. Well, it turns out this whole thought process was found to be incorrect. ScientificAmerican.com reports that a study recently revealed that today's Fidos are not the descendants of modern gray wolves. Instead, the two species are sister taxa, descended from an unknown ancestor that has gone extinct. Well, is that not the now extinct wolf that was identified? I have to say, there is a fair bit of conflicting research about the origin of the dog. One source will say that dogs are absolutely from the wolf present in the late Pleistocene era, and that they are closest genetically to the gray wolf. Other research will say that there is no direct relation between dogs to gray wolves. According to nature.com, while it is clear that gray wolves gave rise to dogs, there is no consensus regarding when, where, and how this happened. Skeletal remains attributable to the present-day dog lineage appear archaeologically by 14 Ka, which means kilo annum, or 1,000 calendar years, and genetic estimates of when the ancestors of dogs and modern wolves diverge range from 40 to 14 Ka. However, the genetic data from modern and ancient dogs, coupled with modern wolves, to which previous studies were largely restricted, may not be able to resolve the origin of dogs. Genetic diversity within dogs is affected by their dynamic history and is unable to confidently pinpoint an origin. As usual, there never seems to be a definitive answer, and research is ongoing. I think, however, the bottom line is that there is a definite connection between dog from wolf, whatever that wolf were to be. Everything always changes when domesticity begins. So let's look at the domestication of dogs. Now, according to Wikipedia, domestication of the dog predates agriculture. In 2021, a literature review of the current evidence infers that domestication of the dog began in Siberia 26,000 to 19,700 years ago by ancient North Eurasians, then later dispersed eastwards into the Americas and westwards across Eurasia. The oldest known dog skeletons were found in the Altai Mountains of Siberia and a cave in Belgium, dated 33,000 years ago. This is quite interesting as it shows the beginning of the relationship of canines to humans. A review in 2021 theorizes that the harsh climate of the last glacial maximum may have brought humans and wolves closer together while they were isolated inside refuge areas. Both species hunt the same prey, and their increased interactions may have resulted in the shared scavenging of kills, wolves drawn to human campsites, a shift in their relationship, and eventually domestication. The archaeological record and genetic analysis show the remains of the Bonn Oberkassel dog buried beside humans 14,200 years ago to be the first undisputed dog, with disputed remains occurring 36,000 years ago. So let's skip ahead a bit. What is the oldest known dog breed? Well, according to the akc.org, the Saluki Royal Dog of Egypt is perhaps the oldest known breed of the domesticated dog, identified by some historians as a distinct breed and type as long ago as 329 BC, when Alexander the Great invaded India. Salukis are considered a sight hound and demonstrates a regal nature, fast and lean. Close behind the Saluki is the greyhound, depicted in the temple drawings from 6000 BC, discovered in present-day Turkey. I think that one of the common beliefs in the origin of dogs is that huskies and malamutes are direct descendants of the wolf. Are they? Well, the answer lies in the first domesticated dogs in Siberia. It appears that Siberian huskies, although bred specifically for running and pulling, according to sitmeansit.com, the breed does trace their lineage to the ancient Siberian wolves. As well, according to wolfstuff.com, huskies have a wolf ancestry, which is the reason they have a similar appearance. Their similarities are believed to come from a dominant gene, giving them very wolf-like characteristics such as fur, fangs, and tail shape. Another wolf-like dog is the Malamute. They are bigger dogs and are often mistaken for wolves. According to the MalamuteMom.com, Alaskan Malamutes have been domesticated animals for a long time. It is thought that they are direct descendants of domesticated wolf dogs from over 4,000 years ago. And it has been shown that wolves seem to have been all over the world. The Malamute, however, originates only in Alaska. It's interesting that the precise timing and location of dogs entering into human civilization is not known. We know that breeds of dogs were engineered by humans to perform certain tasks. Collies herd, Labradors swim and fetch ducks, German Shepherds, Guard, etc. The idea that a type of wolf found a kindred species with humans is very interesting. Dogs, we know, not only can perform specific tasks, they make great companions as well. As thoughtco.com suggests, wolves and dogs split into different species around 100,000 years ago. But that little bit of original DNA still exists. Now, Tundra rarely barks. I don't think I've heard him bark for a couple of years, but he does howl. Up goes the nose and a big "ow" will come out, or a little one, "ooh." Where does that come from? The domestication of the dog was one of the best things that happened to humans. Dogs provide everything from companionship, security, exercise, fun, help with work, keeping those with special needs safe, you name it. The history of the domestication of the dog is quite extensive and very interesting. If you put into AI your request to learn about the origin of the dog, you will get an extensive report that will keep you reading for quite some time. And as we know, any learning is a bonus because, as I say, knowing is caring. Thank you for listening to Val Talks Pets. Please remember to follow or subscribe to ensure that you never miss an episode. To really help the show and to make it easier for others to find, please rate and review each episode that you find interesting and helpful. And don't forget that you can also email me at val@valtalkspets.com with topics you would like me to address or with any questions you may have. Also, check out my website at valtalkspets.com and let me know what you think and how we can improve upon it. Thanks for caring.